Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Michael Thurston. I'm the General Manager of Destination North Coast. Thank you for joining us today for the round 2 of launch of Destination North Coast Business Accelerator Mentoring Program. First couple of housekeeping points to start with. As a courtesy, we would like to advise that this meeting is being recorded. Your microphones will be turned off during the presentation. You can submit questions through the chat section, and these questions can be addressed in the Q&A section at the end. Before I move on, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country. I'd like to take this opportunity to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging on all the lands on which we gather today, and acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders joining us on this meeting. And I'm coming to you from Bundjalung lands up in the north. We are all very much aware of the constant challenges that our industry has faced over the last 2 years. The current COVID outbreak once again highlights the operational and personal challenges that we've had to and continue to face. The North Coast was the worthy recipient of federal funding to the Recovery for Regional Tourism Program, aimed at increasing the appeal of our destination to interstate markets, while also ensuring that we have the critical mass of suitable products when international visitors return. This funding will support a number of initiatives through to what was meant to be May next year, but now we've got a little bit of extension through to November. The Destination North Coast Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program that we're extremely excited about is the first of these initiatives to have launched. We're well underway now. It's been a really great program, some great success. And in many ways, this program is the cornerstone of all we're trying to achieve here through the funding we received through Austrade and the federal government. We are very enthusiastic about this program, as it represents a rare opportunity for North Coast tourism businesses to receive free of charge, tailored and dedicated support and mentoring from industry experts. And that's the most important thing for me there. The Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program will aid in the path to recovery by building a stronger and more resilient North Coast tourism industry that is sustainable in the long term and better prepared to manage current and future industry shocks. One of the key outcomes would be that the North Coast region benefits from product, experience, and market development and diversification, all of which support sustained and sustainable growth of the region's visitor economy. I would like to reiterate that this program is free of charge, fully funded by Destination North Coast and the Australian Government through the Recovery for Regional Tourism Fund. I would also like to take the opportunity to introduce Sarah Elphinstone, who's on the call today. Sarah is the project manager for all of these projects funded through the Recovery for Regional Tourism Program, and a key contact for Destination North Coast throughout all of these programs. Destination North Coast appointed Sparrowly Group through a tender process to deliver the program on our behalf. We're extremely excited to be working with Sparrowly Group on this project, as they have a proven track record of efficiently delivering such programs and leaving a positive legacy in these destinations. I would now like to introduce the Managing Director of Sparrowly Group, Giovanna Oliva, to start the presentation on the Destination North Coast Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program. Thank you, and over to you, Giovanna. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Today, we would also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and recognise the cultural diversity of our local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. We are committed to creating innovative opportunities by building stronger relationships, mutual respect, and encouraging cultural practices that strengthen and support harmony between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples and the broader community. We value the input from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples in decision-making processes at a local level and encourage their active participation. We're just going to pop our videos off for the presentation. We will pop them back on when we get to the panel, and that way you can concentrate on the information ahead. The purpose of today's session is to introduce you to the Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program in more detail. So over the next 30 minutes, we're going to take you through the program, introduce you to the Sparrowly Group mentors, talk through the next steps, introduce some of our current mentees so they can share their experiences, and finally, plenty of time for questions at the end of the presentation. Like many regions, the compounding effects of drought, bushfires, floods, and COVID have impacted significantly on the North Coast visitor economy. Due to the vast geographical area, each region has different source markets and therefore varied needs. The program is free of charge, as Michael mentioned, fully funded by Destination North Coast and the Australian Government under the Recovery for Regional Tourism Fund. The Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program will aid in the path to recovery by building a stronger and more resilient North Coast tourism industry that's sustainable in the long term and better prepared to manage current and future industry shocks. One of the key outcomes would be that the North Coast region benefits from product, experience, and market development and diversification, all of which support sustained growth of the region's visitor economy. In designing and delivering this program, the key objectives include to build a stronger and more resilient North Coast tourism industry that is sustainable in the long term and better prepared to manage current and future industry shocks, including seasonal highs and lows, market swings, natural and other disasters. To support and empower tourism operators to develop and diversify their offering. To motivate and inspire the development of new tourism businesses, products, and experiences. Increase the number of quality experiences in the North Coast region, and strengthen connections between tourism operators and Destination North Coast and other support networks, including Destination New South Wales, Business Connect, Regional New South Wales, Business New South Wales, Travel, Trade Distribution, and partners. In order to take part in the program, your business must be in a Destination North Coast local government area. Now you can see them all listed on the screen here. This is one of the criteria for participation. So examples of the type of businesses that you might have can include accommodation, tourist attractions, tour operators, transport operators, event owners or organisers, and food and beverage businesses. However, if you're unsure if you fall into one of these categories or if you're eligible, don't hesitate to reach out. We will share all of our contact details at the end of the presentation. So what's involved? The program will include the business health check, and this entails a self-guided high-level review of your business and its performance to date. And we cover aspects including operations, products and experiences, marketing, distribution, customer relations, and customer satisfaction, staffing, and profitability. The business health check is really instrumental in setting key goals and outcomes. It will help us match you with the right mentor and identify opportunities, and you'll be referred to again and again by your mentor as they guide you through the program. The business health check is then followed by up to 7 hours of mentoring sessions tailored for your business needs and your specific goals. So in between sessions, your mentor is always just a phone call or an email away should you just need support or a friendly ear to sense check an idea or answer any questions as you put your learnings into action. As part of the program, you'll work with your mentor to provide an action plan, which will be a key part of this program and give you a clear path to put into action. You'll also have access to a range of resources and a toolkit that you'll build as part of the mentoring program. So the expected time commitment of the program is about a couple of hours a fortnight. That includes meeting your mentor and then covering your additional tasks as required. Supporting the mentoring program will be access to the Sparrowly Group network, as well as dedicated Facebook group and curated national business community. This is so that you can keep up to date with the latest news and connect with other like-minded businesses within the group. A practical workshop style webinar series, which is actually kicking off for round 1 this week, will also be included. And that includes topics that are responsive to the key themes that come from this mentoring program. So they're relevant for your business. These webinars will be supported with a series of practical tools that you can use in your business immediately. As I mentioned earlier, once you have completed the business health check, you'll be matched with a mentor to best suit the needs of your business. This includes focusing on a pathway for learning. There are 5 pathways. I'll take you through these pathways at a high level and the types of topics each pathway covers. Don't worry if you don't catch them all. We will be sending you a recording of the webinar, and they're also detailed in the frequently asked questions on the expression of interest application site. So pathway 1, tourism business development, and this includes working with your local tourism office, Destination North Coast, Destination New South Wales, Tourism Australia. And this includes how to get your Get Connected or ATDW listing. It also includes development of a clear point of difference, value proposition, price setting, finding customers, and building resilience and a sustainable business model. Pathway 2, market development and diversification, covers identifying your key target markets, working with online travel agents, working with travel trade, working in inbound and international markets, and packaging and bundling. And pathway 3, travel technology and digital capacity, includes a website review, social media planning and review, travel technology and online booking systems, working with online travel agents, online reviews and reputation management, and developing online content. Pathway 4, which is tourism marketing and sales, it covers aligning business marketing to destination marketing, search engine optimization and marketing, social media marketing, PR and media, photography and videography, building storytelling and intermarketing. And finally, pathway 5, experience and product development or diversification. This includes developing experiences and product ideas, bringing ideas to life through product experience development, product diversification as a competitive strength, exceptional customer service delivery, transformational travel, understanding the modern traveller, and storytelling in your business. Now, whilst you will focus on a specific pathway, the program has been developed to be responsive with the outcomes on an individual mentee basis upon your own goal setting. You and your mentor will craft a bespoke development program and action plan working in this pathway framework, and it was to suit you and your business needs. So as a guide, as part of the program, you'll complete a business health check review. You will identify short and long-term goals for the business. You'll develop a clear and practical action plan for the course of the mentoring sessions and beyond, stretching into the following 6 to 12 months once the program concludes. You'll work to become bookable online if you aren't already, and if you are, how we can improve that, and build new skills and grow confidence as a small business owner. So let's meet the mentors. So who are the Sparrowly Group and who exactly will you be working with? As Michael mentioned earlier, Sparrowly Group is a team of business experts with deep experience in building and growing destinations and businesses across Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia. We've worked with brands including Tourism Australia, Destination New South Wales, Intercontinental Hotels Group, Accor, Virgin Australia, Ingenia Holidays, Qantas, Macadamias Australia, and we've mentored over 500 small to medium-sized tourism and hospitality businesses throughout the country. Importantly, all mentors have business experience, having run their own or worked closely in a small business, as well as deep experience in the tourism sector. This was so important when we were putting this team together for you. The mentors on this program are myself, Giovanna Lever, Naomi Farrelly, Vanessa Campbell, Jackie Hicks, Justine Sinclair, Paige Rowett, Rebecca White, Russell Mills, Paul Harper, and Laurie Mode. So what are the next steps? So first and foremost, applications are now open for round 2. So how to apply? You'll receive an email shortly inviting you to apply for the program. It will include a direct link, which also includes a frequently asked questions section. It's a really good idea to read these because they're very detailed. Jackie's going to also pop that link for the frequently asked questions into the chat box shortly. The application process involves an online application form that you need to complete. We've aimed to make the online application process as straightforward as possible, so it should take you no more than about 15 minutes to complete. This application form includes a number of questions that form the eligibility criteria. When you are asked to provide detail, we encourage you to really think about your response and provide as much detail as possible. Get specific. This will help us when assessing your application. Now, whilst you're working through your application, if you run into any issues or have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at mentoring@sparrowly.com. Don't worry about writing this down. These details will also be on the application page, so you'll have the support that you need, so you won't get lost. So key dates for round 2 of the program. Round 2 applications open today, Monday, the 18th of October. And the applications close on Friday, the 12th of November. The first applicants will be notified in November. Shortly after that, the program will commence early December, and this round will complete in April next year. So with a total of 100 mentoring positions available for the program, round 1 is already underway, and we have 60 businesses participating in round 1. So there are 40 remaining places in the program for round 2 to be filled. So not everyone will start at the same time, and most businesses will finish well before April, but we've enabled enough time in being considerate around your busiest times, particularly over the Christmas period, and we hope that you have a bumper summer period. Essentially, this is just an indication of the possible duration. We thought it would be helpful to share with you some experiences from current mentees, which we will do shortly. But before we do, I'd like to share with you a quick video that highlights a recent mentoring program that we ran for the City of Newcastle.
Things in the city to become more accessible to people that are coming to Newcastle. One of the things that I wanted to get out of the mentoring program was to become more bookable online and understand the processes behind that and understand the ecosystem of the tourism world is actually quite complex. The professional advice helps me to feel confident about what I'm doing, confident about my goals, but also helps me to refine and steer myself a little bit more in where I'm going.
The program really helped us to not only allow us to have the time to think about our business in a different way, but it also gave us the language and the connections within the industry that we weren't a part of to help create and form an idea of what we want to become in the future. We have in the past had baking classes. We really wanted to get back to having those bookable experiences for customers, but we actually wanted to have them more accessible to the visitor economy as well. So with the program allowing us to think about the business in another light, it's definitely got us excited for the future of where Newcastle's heading and really become a part of the fabric of what Newcastle is.
Part of the program really delved into how to work with different distribution partners. Some of the wins in the early stage of running Newey Rides is being connected to the likes of, Airbnb experiences, Red Balloon, Klook, Buy Tour. So being able to make those connections and get in front of those people is vital. And then also setting up my back of house, so my software platforms and how the business operates, that customer journey from start to finish and how that integrates with all these different booking platforms. So the big challenge was where to start and who to speak to, and then kind of really being involved in the program really kind of stitched all that together.
Oh, sorry. I never get that right with the clicking. Right. Before we, thanks for that. And look, now I'm going to ask the mentees that we have as part of our panel to pop their videos back on, and I will too, so that we can introduce. Excellent. So we know that there are a lot of programs out there, and as a small business owner, spending time on your business, it's a luxury, although we know how critical it is. So we thought it might be helpful for you to hear from some of our current mentees who are on the current Destination North Coast Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program. So please welcome Yannick Westbury, owner of Mid North Coast Adventure Company in Port Macquarie, Rebecca Beaton from Riverside Holiday Resort Urunga, and Kim Michelle Toft, artist and award-winning author and owner of Sea Silks Gallery in Ballina. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for joining us today to share first-hand experiences from the mentoring program.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So we're going to keep it pretty casual. I'm just going to flick so I can see. Oh, there's Wonderful. Hello, Kim. How are you? I can see everybody now. We're just going to ask a couple of questions and have a bit of a chat so you can share with those listening today and those that will listen to the recording afterwards around your experiences. So I might kick off with yourself, Yannick, around what's been the main benefit to date for you as a business owner from taking part in the program?
Thanks, Giovanna. One of the main benefits was, so this is my first business in the tourism, well, actually first business in general. The main business was I had this idea of what I wanted to do, and this program really helped me flush out the idea, make it into a detailed plan, really defining my value proposition, so what I bring to the tour itself, what's different from me among other companies. And then once I had that, the idea very detailed, I then was able to do my validating the actual idea itself. So within the validation survey, I really got the idea of who my customers are, the different segments, which is really good for now I know who I'm marketing for, essentially. So it's really helped me just start the whole process and really have a really good detailed plan and idea of where I'm going. And then additionally to that, I just had all the support from Vanessa. So if I needed help at all, she'll always be there to give me a hand with all the stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. So Yannick's validation survey yielded 150 responses, and it was, pretty amazing. And it was a really well mapped out validation survey. So well done, Yannick. But most importantly, it was about really understanding the opportunity and speaking to the right audiences, and with that, making sure that targeting those to answer the validation survey that were the right audience, and stress testing that audience. So thanks, Yannick. Kim, would love to hear from you in terms of what's been the main benefits to you as a business owner, because you've actually completed the mentoring program. I hear you were fully accelerated through. So you've been out, I think you were the first, and then Yannick's not far behind, if not complete.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful experience. For me, it was that one-on-one with Vanessa, that personalized sort of treatment and understanding of what my business was. So because I have like a couple of different components to my business, the actual retail sort of side of it with the gallery and where I run my silk painting workshops out of, but it was also my online business where I distribute my books, through my website and all that sort of thing. So for me, one of the biggest things was that she helped me, Vanessa helped me with looking at different platforms that I could use to sell my products. So I've, now listed on Etsy and eBay, and we're still working on the Wikipedia. But yeah, there's different things that I kind of didn't really think about and know about. And of course we tried different avenues, platforms that didn't, wasn't right, but it was it sort of, made me think more about different ways of selling online, just not through my website. So that was fantastic. And and because I am going overseas in a month's time, I did want to kind of finish the program, because and I can use all these tools and continue to use the things that I've accomplished over these last few months while I'm overseas.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And I think and the business continues on while you're overseas as well. And I think what's really important here to note with Kim is that, she isn't, I guess, your classic tourism business, which is why she's talking about other distribution platforms, also things like Class Bento and what have you. So we cover the traditional tourism platforms and connections. And then when the business is, a little bit left to center, but it's all part of the visitor economy, we make sure that we bring those, that expertise as well. Vanessa was particularly matched up with Kim because of her creative background. So it's been a really great match. And then finally, Rebecca, from yourself, I'd love to hear, we're halfway through the program. And I'd love to hear from you in terms of what you've seen as some of the benefits so far.
Okay, so as Giovanna mentioned, I'm halfway through the program. It's fantastic. It's definitely not what I was expecting, actually. I was expecting like a mentoring program that I could step through bit by bit. It's been so personal for me. I feel like my own growth has been one of the most important things. Managing the team, we have a large team. We have 3 holiday resorts. There's quite a few people that are sort of working with me on tasks and projects. So working with Giovanna, she's sort of helped me put procedures in place to manage our staff that are in other areas. We're now doing time tracking, so we know who's doing what tasks at what time. We're setting up projects and planning. So for me, that's been massive. I personally thought that I'd go into this looking at the tourism marketing side of things, but I feel that it's more for myself and how I'm able to manage the staff and the projects and the resorts and everything. So I feel like I've taken things to another level thanks to your assistance, Giovanna.
Oh, no
You're
problem.
amazing.
Oh,
and it's been hard times for everybody, but you've been really, I've needed you over the past few weeks.
So I think that's really, thank you, Rebecca, that's very
you.
kind. But I think that's really important, to note is that, yes, there are the 5 pathways. Rebecca's on the marketing and content development pathway. And in our next sessions, we start working towards that but really, whilst we've been doing some of the groundwork around, value prop and being really clear on customers and what have you, if the operations weren't sorted, then there was no point doing all that great marketing demand driving activity if the operations weren't sorted and the customer experience wasn't amazing. So we've had to pivot a little bit in order to make sure that Rebecca can have a great experience and then also meet the goals of the program as well, which is why this is very much one-on-one. So we have the guide around the pathways, but I guess the good thing is to know that, if needed, if, something happens and there's, staff leave, or you've got a shortage, or, there's other issues, we need to address those, and we'll be there and, in the sessions, but also in between to support as well. So just to give that level of confidence. And then finally, I think you've kind of answered it, Rebecca, but what surprised you the most about the mentoring program?
So for myself personally, I am surprised by the custom support. So when it comes to personas, and we've put a lot of years and work and love into all of this, I didn't have to repeat myself. I was able to just send you everything that, all of our files and all of our documents, and just say, this is what we have done so far. This is what we're trying to achieve. Basically, what steps do I need to put in place so that we can, get our outcome? And what we found was, obviously with COVID and immunizations and all of these things that sort of got thrown in the way that interrupted our actual program, that's where the extra support has come in. And to have somebody so experienced like Giovanna and her team at Sparrowly, it's really been appreciated for myself and the rest of our team. So that's what I was surprised with, how personalized it is.
Thanks, Rebecca. And Yannick, how about yourself? What surprised you the most for you?
What surprised me the most was from session 1, it was just like, let's go. It was really the enthusiasm that Vanessa brought was such a surprise to me, and the support and the she really believed in my goals, which has actually really boosted my confidence to start actually starting a business. And then also seeing things from someone who's got a business who already has so much experience, different ways of thinking. It's a product, but there's so many different ways I can package it, which I didn't actually think of before this. So it's not just one tour. I can make a whole lot of different things from that one thing, which I actually was very surprised about and didn't think of until, I started this program. So
that's fantastic. And Yannick is a brand new business. So he has been part of the not only Business Accelerator, but also incubator part of the business as well. So we're looking forward to seeing his business launch shortly in the Port Macquarie region. And Kim, finally with yourself, what surprised you the most being on the program?
Look, it's definitely the personal touch. I think that really for me, I thought I was going to kind of have to work through worksheets and, you know what I mean, a bit more sort of academic kind of side of it, whereas it was really hands-on. And, you know, I'd go away with homework, you know, to go and, you know, do certain things that Vanessa suggested to me, and I would do that. And it was that feeling of, you know, one more chink, you know what I mean, one more sort of, you know, step up into that, into the market that I'm, and plus she had that kind of understanding and expertise. But unlike, like you, Yank, I've been in the industry for 35 years. So it's sort of, you know, it's been good to have that kind of encouragement as well.
No, that's really fantastic to hear. And, you know, whilst we do have a framework that we work towards, all the mentors know that, you know, when required, you know, we need to be flexible and agile in the sessions. It can't be, oh, well, we're going to do customer relationships today. Let's, you know, because things happen in businesses. So there's certainly that level of understanding and that level of flexibility and agility in the program, but still making sure that the mentees deliver on their goals at the same time. So thank you so much. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Yannick. We really appreciate you taking the time out, particularly, you know, we're at 80% now and everybody's, you know, busy getting ready, and Kim's ready to go overseas. Got exciting. I think you've got a baby in the family coming,
I do.
Is that right?
My first grandson, and my only daughter, and lives in Canada. And yeah, she's had my first grandson 3 days ago.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Yeah, I leave on the 20th of November for 3.5 months. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it's great to know that your business is in good hands to run
Yes.
while
Yes.
you're away, which is
Yes.
fantastic. So thank you. And thank you, Yannick, as well, for your time. If anyone, and when you're listening to this now or the recording, if you'd like to reach out and talk to any of the mentees, there's 60 currently in round 1. We're very happy to connect you with them. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys,
So in terms of questions, we're just going to move to questions now. The Destination North Coast team in Michael and Sarah, if you want to pop your videos back on now. So we're going to do our best to answer as many questions as possible. So if you have a question, pop it in the Q&A chat box or raise your hand, and we can turn on your microphone. Jackie, what do you have for us?
Okay, I've got one for Michael or Sarah. Can you just remind how many places are available for round 2?
Sarah, I'll let you do the technical ones here.
No problem. So as Giovanna pointed out earlier, we've currently got 60 operators in round 1, which is currently underway, and we have up to 40 spots available in round 2.
Thanks, Sarah. And Sarah or Giovanna, would you be able to describe the level of commitment that's required as part of the program?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to take that, Sarah. So there's up to 7 hours of contact time in mentoring sessions with your mentor. But outside of that, it's roughly a couple of hours a week. So that gives you time to, spend time on your business, put the actions and the learnings in place, and remembering too that every business has different ways of doing things. So we provide you all the resources and what have you to support you along the way. And but if some people might like to draw their value proposition, for example, or graphically illustrate their planning, and some may like to take more of an academic approach. So this, just consider about 2 hours roughly a week, because it also gives you time to spend the time, but also to connect back in with your mentor, check on things, and also do things like the webinar series. And as I mentioned earlier, round 1 webinar series kicks off this week.
Thank you. And Sarah, do I need to be an established business to apply?
Just unmute there. Yes, the program is available for startups as long as you have a registered APN number. You can sign up to the program.
Cool. And Giovanna, a question for you. You did kind of touch on this before, but if I'm normally quite busy in the Christmas holiday period, is there a level of flexibility around the onboarding and commencement for after January?
Absolutely. We don't want to be taking you away from making money and serving your customers. Okay, so there is absolutely flexibility around that, and we can go on pause over the Christmas January period. The aim is to get you started and onboarded pre-Christmas, and at least that way you've got it in action, and then we've got plenty of time, particularly after the January school holidays, because you're all going to have a bumper school holidays now they're at 80%. And then we'll pick up then. But of course, even in between, even if we aren't doing formal mentoring sessions while you're having your busy period, we're always, contactable throughout.
Thank you. And Sarah, just another one for you. If I have more than one business, am I able to apply?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I guess it's probably better just to have the one business to focus your time on. But we are certainly open. If you've got more than one business, you can apply for the project for sure. If you do have the time and capacity to take on mentoring for both businesses.
I might add to that, if that's okay, Sarah, because we have a
sure.
mentee on the program who does have two businesses, but submitted an EOI for the one business. And so when it was presented to me, there were two businesses, but there was a lot of similarities, but she was kind of treating them separately, but together at times. It was, so what we did, we did a whole redefinition of those businesses, those value propositions, to find the similarities and to create a new business value proposition. So it was basically food tours and art tours, so how we bring the two together. So that's in the Coffs region, and that's also looking at in that we also looked at things like company structures and what have you. So we talked to that technicality, the technical side of things as well. If you happen to have a business that is, they're kind of, you think they're two separate ones, but kind of similarly aligned, we do that unpacking as well.
Thank you. And just one final question, Giovanna, what type of topics and areas are you likely to cover?
Yeah, sure. No worries. So we cover everything from defining your value proposition, which is absolutely critical and foundational, through to getting clear on your customer audiences. We cover things like your financials and optimizing your financials, revenue management and yield, particularly for accommodation providers, through to looking at cost structures, resourcing from a people perspective, for instance, and also how to work with key partners. So they're just some examples. There's a lot that gets covered, but it's very important that we don't overwhelm the mentees. So we have the framework, but it is about working with the mentees, getting clear on the goals of the business. And sometimes the goals may not be as apparent in the first session, and we might unpack them even further. And then being able to be agile as mentors to then work with the mentees to cover the range of topics that we cover. But essentially, we're looking at the desirability of your business, the feasibility of your business, and the viability of your business.
Thank you. That's all the questions. So back over to you, Giovanna.
Great. Thank you, Jackie. So if you have any questions regarding the application process or the Business Accelerator and Mentoring Program, please feel free to email us at Sparrowly Group. We're at mentoring@sparrowly.com. And I mentioned that these details will also be on the EOI website as well. So thanks so much for your time. We really understand how busy you are, and also we had this recording so that you can listen to it afterwards. We hope that many of you can find the time to go back and listen to it again, or even just pass it to a colleague as well. But we know it's a busy time and lots of change happening in New South Wales at the moment, as we are now at 80% and we're gearing up for reopening. As I mentioned, similarly, when you receive your invitation, feel free to forward it onto a colleague, fellow business owner, or a friend that you think might be suitable and might benefit from the program. So enjoy the rest of your day, keep healthy, keep safe, and get vaccinated. Thank you. Goodbye.